talk. Hello. Buonasera tutti. Buonasera. Come sta? Hello. Who's there? Oh my goodness. Who's ready for an amazing show tonight?
That's right.
And if you have something that made you go, why don't you tell me in the chat? And make sure you say your name, because sometimes it doesn't come up with your name on it. And then if you're watching this, make sure you say hi. But if you're watching it on the replay, do hashtag replay so I know. Because then I can give you some love.
So
I want to give you some love. So, what's everybody doing? Did everybody have a good weekend? I have learned something very valuable. And it's funny. I don't know. Did you get the Boston Businesswomen newsletter today? It was just an email.
Did, but it was about
It was about non-negotiables.
Oh, I like that.
Hi. Tell me your name because it says Facebook user. Because I can't see, because sometimes it doesn't come in.
Yeah, it just says Facebook user.
Yeah. User. Facebook user.
Facebook user.
And it was about non-negotiables, like what time you go to bed, like you are not having so many drinks, or And I was going, sometimes I just burn the candle at both ends because I like to go out and have fun.
Right.
And I'm out with my friends. And so, oh, hi, Maria, honey. Oh, we got 20 seconds. Okay. Okay. I had too much fun this weekend, Maria. Maria's the best. Here we go.
Hey, Just Steph fans, are you ready to be okay with yourself?
Can you guys hear Can you guys hear this on Facebook? Maria, can you hear the
Are you tired of caring about what everyone else
Hi.
feels?
Hello. It says Facebook user, so say hi. Say your name. I'm sorry. Sometimes it comes in with a name, sometimes it doesn't.
Then why don't you join me, Steph Palermo, host of
Okay,
the
you can hear.
Just
Good.
Steph Talk radio show in Sicily for the summer solstice this June 16th through the 23rd. We will be spending 8 nights adopting a blue zone life, the Just Steph way, including being active, enjoying Sicilian cuisine, engaging in Sicilian hospitality, and experiencing Bella Sicilia. This is first class, baby.
Yeah, first class.
Chicho, our driver, this summer solstice.
Who doesn't love Chicho? Hi. Oh, hi, Kim.
Or email me.
You guys are the best. It's going to be a good night.
See you in Sicily.
Hi, everybody. It's Candy O. You're listening to 95.9 WATD, South Shores radio station.
Ooh, girl, you're shining like the Fifth Avenue diamond. They don't make you like they used to. I'm never going out of style.
This is the Just Steph Show. I'm your host, Steph Palermo, your Sicilian soul guide, bringing sexy back to Monday nights. Tune in every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. for weekly healings, soul readings, special guests, and tips to enhance your life by balancing body, mind, and heart. Make your Monday night sexy right here on WATD 95.9 with Just Steph.
Baby, you're so classic. Hey, it's Steph Palermo, and it's the Just Steph Show. Everybody has 2 lives. The second one begins when you realize you only have one. We are second lifers. We're empty nesters, newly single, and those starting over. H3, your healthy, happy, hip years are just beginning. I'm bringing sexy back to Monday Night Radio. You do not want to miss tonight and every Monday because I'm helping you transform your life one glorious day at a time. I'm your intuitive soul guide, healer, author, and international speaker and talk show host. I help second lifers discover their spirituality and incorporate it into their lives. I teach my clients and audiences how to meld a spiritual practice with the realities of daily life in order to enjoy the fullest expression of themselves, the complete life package. You do not have to ditch the fun to be connected to the divine. That's right. I offer soul journey retreats in Sicily. I have one coming up this June the 16th through the 24th. It's not too late. I just got my tickets and I'm actually going much earlier. So you can get your tickets this is an exclusive trip. You definitely want to come. I'm taking deposits as we speak. Yeah, so it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. And I offer the Divine line, which is my soul guidance package, and workshops, which we just had a wonderful workshop, and a weekly talk radio show right here on 95.9 FM, WATD, the South Shores radio station. Okay. Let's just settle in. Everybody breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. And just know that you're tuned in tonight for a reason, and you're going to hear everything you need to hear. This is how the universe works. This is how God works. You get everything you need. Okay. All right. Well, I'm so excited. My dear friend, Jennifer Cassara, is back in the studio. Jennifer has spent the last 30 years, both personally and professionally, as a student and lover of fashion. She's held positions as an apparel buyer and fashion director for multiple retail chains, as well as owning and curating her own boutiques called Bella and Bella's Closet. She's used her experience to study style trends and to crack the code on how to build an effortless yet enviable wardrobe. Through the years, she's collected a library of her favorite and timeless go-to styles that are universally flattering to use as the inspiration and foundation of Good Robe & Co. Her goal is to help other women with a formula for looking good that's easy, sustainable, and affordable so they can focus on more important things, like conquering the world. Welcome back, girl.
Thank you for having me. This is my favorite.
I know, it's so fun.
I always have such a good time.
I know. And you know what? You always have such a good energy, and I love having you in the studio, which is why I invite you back to be my co-host so many times.
Thank you.
So come on in. And you know what's exciting about tonight, because Jennifer messaged me and she said, I know you and I are both working with Megan Marini on trauma. Do you think we should have a show about it? And I said, well, that made me go, So
See?
I said, let's get in touch with Megan and see what she wants to do. And lo and behold,
Look at here we are.
yeah, that's it.
This is great.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna introduce Megan in a minute. So let's pull a Grace card.
Oh, this is my favorite.
Yes.
I feel like this is where I shine, is pulling a card. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out
Oh.
what's it say.
This is so perfect
Okay.
for what we were talking about. Okay. Compassion.
Hello.
Be gentle with yourself. You are a magnificent soul. And we were kind of talking about being gentle and taking care.
Yes.
And this is the perfect card.
Yeah.
That's
This
good.
is, you can't make this stuff up. It happens. It's all working out. All right. You know what? We're going to move on and we're going to listen to what Jordan Rich has to say.
Book by a local author that I love. It's called It's Not
Can you
Personal,
hear?
Sonny, It's Business.
Now I can.
Is it a good level
Like
for
Turn it
you?
down a tiny
Like
bit.
a Sicilian.
Can I have you
And the
just
gal
go
who
closer
wrote
to
it
the
is
microphone
one
so
Sure.
Steph Palermo. And if you're looking
Yeah.
for
Well,
simple
yeah.
common sense
Can you
wisdom
turn it down a
that
tiny
will
bit on the
transform
ears?
your life for the better,
Thank you,
this
Don.
book
That's
is for
good.
you.
Yeah.
She tells
Okay.
entertaining stories.
There
about
you
being
go.
a
Hi.
success.
Yay. I love your
Fashion
lip.
responsibility
Your lip color.
Take first place. She offers her
like-
own inspiration
I don't usually say
every
this.
chapter.
It's
This one that I
like
love. Living
beige
happens
or
during
nude.
Yeah.
nude.
That's where the
Yeah.
body is refreshed, the heart is moved, the
Yeah.
spirit is
Let's
lifted,
get
and the
nude.
mind
Just kidding.
expanded.
Yeah.
It's about hard work,
Yeah,
courage,
it's getting hot in
loyalty,
here.
respect, and of course, good
Bringing
food.
sexy
There's one
back.
chapter
That's right.
entitled Past the
On Monday
Pasta.
night.
Terrific little book that you want to share with
Love
friends.
it.
It's not
How are
personal,
you?
Sonny. It's business.
Yay.
How to run your family life and business
Yay.
like a Sicilian by local author Steph Palermo. And that's the book club, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
Nice hat.
The source of all healing is love. Be healed daily by connecting to the divine love. The healing segment of the Just Steph Show is brought to you by Christine Murphy and Moi Health and Wellness, offering weight loss options with semaglutide and phentermine, women's health support for all menopausal symptoms, Botox and Dysport, vitamin injections, hair loss solutions, and much more. Christine has 2 convenient South Shore locations, one in Lakeville and one in Marshfield. For more information, check out Moi Health and Wellness at moihealthandwellness.com, and that's with A-N-D spelled out. Spirit, you are the source of love, healing, and restoration. We thank you for the miracles you still perform today. Tonight, bestow your grace on those listening who are in need of your healing. Bring peace, restoration, and full health to this audience and their loved ones. I believe in the healing power of faith and prayer, and I ask you to begin your mighty work in the lives of my audience. Let this be a year filled with peace, laughter, health, and joy. Please reach down and surround my audience with supernatural peace and strength, and give my audience the faith to believe that all things are possible for you, Spirit. And if you would like a healing in your life, email me at steph@juststeph.com. So big welcome to Megan Marini. Megan is a healer and coach who works with high-performing women who have fallen into a cycle of limitation and who are ready to break through into their true selves and create unshakable inner wealth. And you can find out more at I'm a Human, AMMAhuman.com. Welcome, Megan. Welcome back.
You.
Yeah, it's been a while
Yes.
since I had you in the studio.
Yes, darling. The
Yeah.
real deal.
I
here.
know,
It's-
that's
it's
right.
so great.
I know. Is it live
Yay.
or Memorex?
Love it.
And we got the triplets. We got all
right,
three.
the
right?
trio.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. So yeah, I'm so happy to have you. And we're gonna talk all about some really great stuff
I'm so
today.
excited to
Yeah,
be here.
it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what are we talking about tonight? Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Before we talk about what we're doing, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have the Social 411 and Megan Marini. Okay, so we have a few minutes. Oh, no, I got to shut this off. Okay.
Okay, it's break time. Break time.
Yes. Yeah, we have like
Break
a few
time.
It's
minutes.
very. You're
Yes.
so like boom, boom, boom.
Yes. You know what? It's a
I
fast
feel like you
show.
could have been in the military. It's
I
very
know.
militant,
Well,
isn't
you know,
it?
and it's so funny
She's
because
like,
sometimes
"Bah, bah,
I like go, I hold back a little because I don't know what's next. Like I don't want, like I know what's next, but like I don't want to hold up anything. So
Well, you know what? We're a tiny bit early, but that's okay. It's
good.
good
Oh, is it
because
okay? I came in a minute. I know.
No.
Oh,
I'm
no.
no.
Oh, okay,
No,
you're
we're
ahead.
good.
You're ahead.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, what's good about this is we'll have time to talk
Oh, I
in
love
your
that.
in
Yeah.
every
yeah,
segment.
which
Yeah.
So
that's good.
yeah,
that's good.
so
Yeah.
it'll be
a lot
good.
to cover.
Yes, we have a lot to. You know what? I'm so. I have to say. I'm gonna say this out loud. Sometimes I say things.
Are we
too much.
running? No,
Yeah.
we live.
Well, we're on
Facebook.
We're on
Facebook Live.
Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. 4 Facebook pages.
Cool.
We're everywhere.
We rock.
Yeah.
We're like savoir faire.
Exactly.
Savoir faire is everywhere. That's a cartoon. The Klondike cat always gets his mouse. That's
Right.
remember
That's yes. Oh,
That's old.
are we supposed to say that? We
That's
remember
dating.
that? No, I've heard of it.
Me. But anyway,
What
I'm
were you
really
gonna
looking forward to tomorrow because I'm coming in tomorrow, and I
So
got to tell you
I have
why.
to tell you.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
You have to cancel.
No, but I have my second location, and I was like not going to text you today because I'm like I don't want to stress her out on. I know Monday's a big day, so if you're cool with it, we're going to be in Hingham. I'll send you the directions as soon as I leave here. I just didn't.
Oh, I
want
don't care. I just don't want
I
to go to
just feel like
Cambridge.
it's better. It's better.
I just don't want to go to Cambridge. Sorry,
It's all right.
I'm not going there. I'd rather go to Hingham than Cambridge.
Yes.
Yes, I
Sorry,
agree with that.
It's just the vibe. It's just not my vibe. But what was I gonna say? You know why? I had such a busy weekend this weekend. It was so cuckoo cuckoo, and I was so tired today.
Yeah.
I was saying that I did my work, and so Jimmy and we took a ride,
Yeah.
and I took a nap in the car, and then got a cup of
Mhm.
coffee,
Oh, there you
and
go.
now I feel fine. I'm totally fine.
And that was today.
Yes.
You kind of just needed.
So I'm looking
Crash.
forward because you know
Yeah.
what? After our appointment tomorrow,
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Oh, that's.
I'm gonna
so
go.
good.
I'm
That's
gonna,
what
like,
you
I'm gonna go to
did.
bed. I'm gonna get home, get in my pajamas, get under the covers.
I
and go to
love
bed.
that. I'm so
And
glad
I'm
you're doing
so
that.
excited to do that.
Yeah,
And even
well,
on,
I feel like we're gonna have a big session.
Yeah.
I swear to
I
God, like when you
know.
don't have anything, when you know you have something after, this is a known thing, clinical known thing.
Ah,
You literally put
subconscious,
like
yeah.
a stopper on it because you're like, well, I don't want to be demolished.
yeah,
So this will be really good.
yes, and
Yeah.
and even on Thursday, the only thing I have after. Wait, hold on.
That's what I used to do
Oh,
in math
okay.
class, distract
All
the
right.
teacher.
right. So when we like going on, and
yeah, you know.
so he's gonna tell me how long. 30 seconds till ads. Okay.
Okay.
But even on Thursday, the only thing I have to do is get my hair blow dried.
Don't you
afterwards.
love light weeks?
And
Like,
that's-
don't
and
you
that's
just
it.
like love white
So-
space in the
so,
calendar where
yeah.
you're like,
You have no
And
idea
when
what I
you're
did.
like-
This
That's what we were
weekend was
talking
crazy.
about
last
on the way
week I was
here.
like, oh my gosh, white space. And I was like,
This
I'm
weekend was
Steph
the first time
Palermo,
I've had
and I like to feel beautiful. I know you do too. My good friend Maria Paola
good.
is the founder and CEO of the Women of Boston Lingerie. At the Women of Boston Lingerie, they have a mission to help every woman feel beautiful and sexy, no matter what shape, size, or age. They offer private, full-service styling with bra sizing and boudoir photography right in their studio in
Yeah, but it
Newton,
is, I love it.
Massachusetts. Check them out online at the Women of Boston Lingerie at www.thewomenofboston.com or give Maria a call at 617-953-4647. You know, Just Steph is all about living your best life, and feeling beautiful is definitely part of it. So check out the Women of Boston Lingerie and tell them Just Steph sent you.
Hi, this is radio guy Jordan Rich. Very proud to know her and very happy to be listening to her. The Just Steph Show right here on WATD.
Things that make you go boom. All right. So I have a kind of a big So this made me go, I don't even know if I can say it without dying. Really? And I'm just behooved.
Behooved. He's so cute.
I'm not even kidding you.
He's so cute.
Being at an event, at a table, you know, a nice event,
Yep.
not a gala so much, but you know, something,
It's
you know,
still
nice
fancy.
event, kind of, yes. And a lady, open mouth burping at the table.
No, come on.
I cannot believe you are ratting right now on the radio. This is so funny.
I was like, I was going, and
Do we think maybe she had a disorder?
well, people,
maybe.
No, I think she probably is just trying to like keep up with the times and be like, I'm very casual. I'm creating
I'm
safe
not-
space.
I'm
Please-
giving
please-
myself grace.
Please
I'm
don't-
giving
please
myself
compassion.
grace.
Get
don't
the
even-
compassion card.
Yeah, the
I know, right? Please, I was.
What kind of
That's
event was it?
horrible.
I
Just
can't.
like-
You know what? I can't go into detail. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
don't
afraid.
reveal her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I can't
Okay,
do it.
so you couldn't have been the only person that was kind of like, did you see other people's faces? Did
Oh,
you?
someone mentioned it yesterday. Yes.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe mention it lovingly. So
No,
when out and about.
Never
let's-
again. No.
Okay.
No. Exhale to the no, to the no. No. I was like, are you, this is not happening to me. And I always think,
That's weird.
why did I attract this?
What was I supposed to learn from
Right.
this?
And yeah, what was it?
You just need
what was it?
It's just a little fodder.
I
for
you know what?
radio show.
I actually
It was
had a
perfect
couple
for
of
the
things
show.
that happened over the weekend that caused me, like, I have to write about because it had to do with like the table and like, you know how I always talk about know what you bring to the table, know your worth, and then you can invite other
Yes,
people
I
to the
love that,
table.
yes.
Well, Friday night there was no table, and we had to go somewhere else to another. We left a black tie event and went to a restaurant because there were no seats, so there was no table. And then Saturday night I was at the cray table.
Okay, but I'm sure on Friday night you thought there was going to be a table.
Yes.
There wasn't
There
a
wasn't
table
enough.
anticipation.
No, there wasn't enough seats,
Oh,
so we left.
oh wow.
Yeah, we left. Went to dinner with Maria Paola.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was better.
See,
It was so
that
fun.
worked out better.
But anyway, yeah. And then, but Saturday night was cray table. So I thought, okay, what is it about?
Which one's worse?
What, you know what? Having no table. I would rather find another table than sit at the table that I was at. I have to say, that made me go, I have some.
You always have such good
yeah, but I think that might be a problem. Don't you think? Because I'm dealing with
never
cuckoo
have
too.
I never have I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what's happening tonight. We have Megan Marini is our featured biz, and of course Jennifer Cassara is going to talk a little bit about Good Robe, and we have for your soul block we're going to talk about how trauma gets in the way of your personal growth and development. For your social 411, I'm going to talk about the best Mother's Day brunches in Boston on the South Shore. your soul guidance. We're going to talk about healing the trauma. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for the Just Steph rules of dating, we're going to talk about how past trauma affects love relationships and how it can block us from really embracing, love. And of course, there's going to be much more because I'm with these fabulous ladies. So call me tonight. Call me to be part of the show. Call in and ask Just Steph or Megan or Jennifer at 781-837-4900. Tell me what's going on in your life. I want to hear from you.
Love it.
Call me anytime.
So
Hey
good.
everyone, this is Just Steph, and I'm all about living your best life and feeling great. So listen up.
I was trying to
Have
figure
you
out why
heard
I
about
couldn't
the
read it because I don't have my
Genesis
glasses on.
Fit? It is
Oh,
a
man.
new
I was going-
fitness club and studio in Marshfield that
I love
offers
those glasses.
personal training,
So good.
small group training.
I'm
I
sorry
hope
about
nobody. I hope nobody was
guidance,
listening to the show
and
tonight.
assisted
I have to
stretching.
say.
I know, I was
Trainers
thinking that. I'm
there
like, shucks.
understand that a healthy lifestyle
You probably don't know
is
the
so much
person,
more
right?
than just
You don't know her.
losing
Yeah.
weight.
No.
At
No,
the
I said-
Genesis Fit,
I mean,
the
you know her
trainers use
personally.
data-driven coaching
And
to
now she knows
design,
if she was
challenge, and customize workouts that are
You know, right?
personalized to you.
Yes.
And are you trying to figure out how you're going to squeeze a workout
Well,
into
not
your
every
busy
yes, yeah.
schedule?
Maybe if you're like
I
in a
get it.
backyard
Well,
where
listen to
everybody's
this.
knowing each
No.
other.
The
Oh,
Never.
Genesis
It's
Fit
never
offers
appropriate.
Still, it's
24/7
never
club
appropriate.
access
I'm sorry. I wouldn't do that in front of
so you
Jimmy.
can tailor
No.
I
your
wouldn't be like
workouts to your
in front of
schedule.
But
Jimmy.
what about we
Call
have
them
friends?
today.
No,
for
never.
complimentary
Never.
body
Never.
No, never.
composition analysis
Never.
and fitness
Never.
evaluation
No,
at
it's never appropriate.
Well, I'm just thinking,
For me.
what was your thinking? What was your thinking?
If it happens,
Or
Cassara does it.
Like it's
too.
embarrassing. No, say excuse me.
That's
Like if it comes
Well,
up.
she didn't say excuse
Check out the Genesis Fit. Tell them Just Steph sent you.
Oh, man.
I just think of the
Funny.
Simpsons and Barney.
This is
when you're
Dr.
like,
Kathy Calvillo from New England Breast and Wellness, and you are listening to the Just Steph Show.
All righty. Your social 411. Oh, you want to read this, honey?
Oh,
this
yeah,
is your.
why. This is
your-
why I have my glasses on.
Right.
All right. At Good Rub & Co., we're all about the good, which we are, looking good, feeling good, and doing good. We're more than simply an apparel company. Our mission is to change women's lives by helping them to create timeless, effortless wardrobes that they can thrive in. We make it easy, we try to, for women to look their best and feel more confident so they can focus on the more important things in life. We are committed to empowering women because we are women. And Good Rub & Co. is 100% woman-owned, led, and inspired.
And thank you so much for sponsoring the Social 411. Living happens during leisure. That's where the body is refreshed, the heart is moved, the spirit is lifted, and the mind expanded. You wanted to know where to go this weekend, and you've been waiting for your Social 411.
I love that we dance. We're all so cute.
All righty. So did you guys do anything fun this weekend?
Yes, nothing.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Sat in the sun,
Yeah,
100%.
So good.
that's awesome.
Sun.
Well, you look fabulous.
I
What
needed
about
it.
you, hon? Did you?
So we had a big party. I missed the Derby party
Okay,
that
okay.
that I
That's
wanted
all right.
to go to next year. So we had a big 2-day party.
Woo,
Yes.
Nice.
It was good. It was casual and fun
Oh,
by the
good.
water. So
Nice.
Gorgeous.
Love
yeah.
it.
Yes.
All right. So Thursday I was at Tuscan Kitchen for a dinner with Bold. What is that? Bold
Moves.
Bold Moves. Yeah, with Amy, and she's fabulous, and it was a fabulous, women's business dinner. It was lovely. New group of gals. Everybody was fabulous. Friday I was at a gala. I'm not going to even say where I was, and
Nope.
and I won't tell you where I was Saturday night either. But Sunday I was at West End Johnny's for brunch with the girls, and then headed over to Limoncello's. But Friday after I left the gala, we went to Limoncello's. So I was at Limoncello's twice this past weekend in the North End. I want to tell you quick about an event on Tuesday, May 16th at District Hall in the Seaport. It's a business networking and social event at Boston Seaport on May 16th, hosted by Dana Zola and sponsored by District Hall and Mary Lee Photography. There's a guest speaker, and they will speak on financial wealth. It's Nora Yosef from RBC. And the event will feature music, food, and a cash bar. It's open to professionals of all ages, including SEO and web designers, entrepreneurs, real estate developers, top brokers, event planners, photographers, and lawyers. Anyway, so I'll be there, and it's going to be a fun event. So I
Nice.
hope to see you there. I wanted quickly, because talk about some of the favorite places you can hit for Mother's Day for brunch. And I'm going to tell you, West End Johnny's is really fun. It's a reggae brunch. The
Ooh.
music is awesome. They do
That's
something
cool.
like the new music, like something more
more
contemporary,
fusion.
but
Right.
with a reggae sort of
Ooh.
flair. It's really fun.
It's a DJ.
Yeah, no, it's a band.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a band. Yeah.
cool.
They were fabulous. So and the food's great. Another place that I love is Monica's on Richmond Street for brunch. It's fabulous. But here's a couple. Art Bar, and that's in Cambridge. The Bancroft on Burlington. Let me see. I'm trying to find where I want to do Boston. The Banks. It's an a la carte menu, and it's on Stewart Street. It's the Banks Fish House. Bar Enza on 1 Bennett Street in Cambridge. We have Bistro du Midi, and that's on Boylston Street. These are some great. Clink in the it's on Charles Street, but it's in the hotel.
Oh.
What is it? The Charles Street Hotel? Was it the Liberty Hotel? Liberty Hotel. That's where the jail was. Charles Street Jail. All the Davio's locations have
All the
brunch.
Davios.
All of them.
All
There
of
was too
them.
many. So yeah, they have a great brunch, and they always have their regular menu. Grill 23. Let's see. We have Moo.
I love Moo.
Yeah, Moo is excellent. That there's one in the Seaport and on Beacon Street. The original one was on Beacon Street, and they also have one in Burlington. If you're a North Shore person like me, don't hate me. Oak Long Bar and Kitchen on St. James Ave.
Making me hungry.
I know, right? Now here's what is this? Let me see, Pescador, and this is kind of a newer Mexican fish.
I was
Seafood.
going with fish, but I didn't know it was Mexican.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is, and they're having a great Mother's Day brunch, and that's on Calm Ave, and this is the Quarry. This was in the Boston one, but it's in Hingham, so it's on Whiting Street in Hingham. The Quarry. I don't know. Have you ever been there?
I've heard of the Quarry.
South Shore has some really great restaurants. They really, really do.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet though.
Yeah, the Rail Stop and Restaurant and Bar it's Boston Landing. Let's see, Rose Wharf Sea Grill. Now that's in the hotel, and that they have like a grand buffet.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's $210 per person. Yeah. So Russell House Tavern, and that's on JFK Street in Cambridge. We have let's see, we have Scampo, which is on Charles Street. That's over in the West End area. South End Buttery on Shawmut Ave. Sorolina on Huntington Street.
Sorolina.
Have you been there?
Good. Yes.
You've been there?
Yes.
Yeah, Trifecta on Dalton Street. Let's see. Now the South Shore ones. The Bay Point in Quincy.
Yeah, it's really good.
Alden Park in Colony Place. At Plymouth, they have, let's see, it's the, I'm trying to look, where is this? I think it's a Tavern on the Green. What is that one?
Something on the Green.
Yeah, Tavern on the Green. Fireside Grill and Tavern on the Wharf in Plymouth.
Oh,
That's what I was looking for.
You're like, no, it's a tavern.
Yeah, the Greenside Grill in Hingham. These are Station 8 in Marshfield, right down the street. 1620 Wine Bar in Plymouth, and Southside Braintree. Giardino's in Abington. Have you been there?
No.
I haven't either.
No.
So the Beth Kitchen and Bar at Hingham Shipyard, and the Fox and Hound Quincy. So
Fox and Hound is really good.
yes. So these are some great ideas for brunch for Mother's Day, but you should make them soon because it'll
Fill up.
It'll
Yeah.
book up. So if you have a great event at your place, at your business, email me at steph@juststeph.com. All right, let's talk about your soul block.
Soul block, fucking people.
Yes.
If you're putting the run, come right now.
All righty. So Megan, you're going to shine. You're in charge right now because
all right.
yeah, because you've got all this down. And you know what? While you're talking, I'm going to fix the little bit of this Wi-Fi stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about how trauma blocks us from personal growth and development, because sometimes we don't even know we have it, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
deep down.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that some people do know you have trauma, right? So you can kind of have a couple different buckets of it, where one bucket would be severe trauma, or they'll call it sometimes capital T trauma. Capital T trauma, you're definitely going to know you had it, but you can also have blocked it all out. But you might have a hint, or you have an idea that something bad has happened, or you were, raped or beaten, or you saw someone be beaten, things like that. You didn't have enough food. This is capital T trauma. And we're talking about the formidable years, right? In vitro to 8 years old, approximately. And then you have event trauma later in life, car accident, abuse, things like this. And then you have complex trauma. Complex trauma is relational, right? A parent or your caregiver. So I've even seen like an older sibling who ended up being the main caregiver, really sort of creating. So it's not physical abuse, but it's really creating an unsafe emotional environment. Sometimes some of the clients I work with, it's simply that their parents or their mom or their dad really pushed them really hard, right? Or the parent went away, or wasn't around for them emotionally, couldn't meet them where they were. So you see how it's complex and relational. It's not that they didn't have food. It's that they didn't feel safe to be themselves.
And
They weren't met,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So it's a little bit, there's almost like the spectrum of trauma, right?
Right.
But we never compare. We would never want to compare, and I've heard people do that at a dinner, like what night was your snafu Friday night? Like I've heard people, well, that doesn't really count as trauma. And I just think that that's not how trauma works. And a lot of people that do have the more complex trauma will sort of question the validity of their trauma. They'll say, well, I had everything I could have ever wanted. They just made me get all A's and never heard me out, or whatever the scenario was. But they feel almost guilty going to get help for something because it seems, in comparison.
Right.
But the reality is there's no comparison, because as long as it sort of overwhelmed your system in a way where, that was the worst thing that ever happened to you. I heard it said well like this: the worst thing that ever happened to you was the worst thing that ever happened to you. And somebody else might have a completely more horrific experience, but it's their same, that it's,
right.
It goes in as the
you
same.
can't compare.
You really can't.
You can't compare. Everybody's suffering is their own.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, because we talked about this, you and I, when whatever's going on in your life is not recognized.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about, when I said, because that's what I said,
like
that
your gifts and being different than, and you know how it is.
Or even when I was things that went on, it was never recognized how I was mistreated.
Yeah.
It was just brushed off.
Yes.
Then you start to.
And then you brush it off.
Right. And then you brush off everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I typically work with high performing women, and right. And it's always I've got this, push the feelings down.
Is that the most common? Most people just ignore that they.
Yeah. Mostly what I see is a really strong control mechanism, controlling ourselves. And you know what that looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually some sort of self-abusive kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
or we're controlling the things in our lives where, I like to think of it as like giving 110%. You're just giving, but that inside you're never actually feeling satisfied.
So
you're never like, oh, I got the thing, okay, I'm good. No, that's not how it works.
So
right?
How do you think that unresolved, unrecognized, faced trauma keeps us from personal growth and evolving as and moving forward in our lives?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great question, and I think we know that it does, but it's like, how does it, right? So I worked with someone the other day, fantastic human being, so advanced in many ways, but really focused on energy and energy work. And I won't name names either, right? Because I really respect this person, but everything's energy, and the lens by which she named all of the issues that were present was all, well, I do this energy work and this energy work. I'm like, that's great, but you're on a different road. You're actually in a different system in the body, or, as a whole. So you're not going to get to Canada on that road if you're
Right.
trying to get to Canada. So what we don't realize is that, you know, we need to also figure out what channel you on. Is it a mental block? Trauma is stored in the body. So talk therapy doesn't get to it. Energy work is fantastic, but it's a different channel. You're on a different
Right.
road. It's nice if your energy's, if your energy's no bueno, then get some energy healing. But if you have trauma from childhood or even, you know, disease, loss later in life, these things can create almost like a dent in your internal architecture where unless you go in and work through it, like really work through it and not just have one conversation about it or one somatic experiencing session,
Mhm.
but actually complete the work, then you get to say, okay, I had that. And there's no charge to it. And then the beauty is that the patterns that we've created to survive, and it's brilliant how we've survived things, but it holds us, that's the stuff that holds us back is those coping mechanisms, right? Overgiving, doing anything for love, right? No matter what you do. And then you're like, why can't I get love though? It's like, well, because we all can feel that it comes from this control mechanism. Nobody wants that kind of love, but you're like, but I'm giving everything. Why am I not getting the thing that I'm supposed to get? It seems so obvious, like that you're like, I'm doing everything right. And it's like, but it's not sitting with the world because it's coming from this sort of disrupted nervous system.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is something that we've talked about, which is the fact that it also serves you to a certain extent, right? So if you overcompensate by not dealing, right, and you push it down and you're like, achieve, you do achieve a lot.
We're wired to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
But you only
wired
get somewhere so
Right.
far.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I think though too, it's not done in flow because it's a struggle because you're spending
it's a struggle.
energy trying to keep this other stuff down to get ahead.
Yes.
And even though you're going to get there, you might get there. It's been
Yes.
it's more painful. I think that's what I think
Mhm.
because we're wired as human beings to get what we seek. And sometimes it's not what we want, what we
Right.
really want, but we're seeking something. So we're going to get it,
Right.
but it might be
Or
the
we
rocky
repel
road.
it. We repel it a little
Yeah.
bit because we're pushing so hard
Yes.
rather than letting it flow to us.
Yes.
Which the more I let go of things, the more it's almost like when you're like, oh, I should follow up on that thing. They never called back. And then they call back.
Right.
And you're like, oh, that just happened. Okay. Like I just let it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like flow, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
rather than having to
I
push
mean,
and pull.
I think it's such a hard thing for people to really realize because, and I think, you know, there's such a stigma still around getting help. And
You think so?
I think to some degree, I think people are more open to therapy
Mm-hmm.
than some other, you know,
Yeah.
holistic, you know, I don't, is that the right word?
Holistic, alternative. complementary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and I spent 20 years or more in talk therapy. I love my therapist. Every once in a while I might, be like, okay, I want to talk to Dr. Warsaw.
Yeah.
And, and I will talk to him, especially if something happens, like with my ex-husband, because, I spent all those years, he knows it, right?
Yeah.
But I always knew I went into someone was reading my chart. It was like the first time I really had my chart read.
Yeah.
And I walked in and she goes, "What happened to you?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She knew.
Like your birth chart?
Yes. She goes, "What happened to
Wow.
you?"
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. At the time I was like, yeah, it was pretty bad, but I didn't really
Right.
know how bad it was until, you start to realize that it's just not right. It's just not normal. It's not what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think though too, when it comes to that stuff, we don't want to, especially if you have good relationship with your family and your parents, you love them and you don't want to.
Right.
You don't want to say anything bad about them.
Right.
Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I think that you don't want to, it's okay now, but it's okay to face this too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, at the same time, you can still take care of this trauma and deal with it whatever the way that they parented you without breaking the current relationship.
I love that stuff. Yeah.
It's so true.
I
And
love
it's
it, yeah.
almost like it's a separate thing. Like
Mhm.
even going through this
Yes.
now, there are things obviously, but I look at it as they did what they could, what they were capable of, right? Because they probably came into it with a bit of their own trauma or their
Mhm.
own issues and kind of giving them grace.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more Megan Marini.
So intense. There's so much to talk about.
I know.
I'm like,
So
whoa.
You
good.
scared me. You didn't say that out loud, did you?
Do what?
Did you?
No.
Okay.
I said I mouthed it.
Okay. All right. As long as it, because these are sensitive. It's like $1 million fine. No, it's okay. You can say that now. You're not on.
Okay. I'm like, I got nervous.
Say it again. I said it again.
No,
Well, I said-
it's okay here. Here is fine. You know, because it's internet.
Right.
God, I hope I don't have $1 million fine.
Me too. It's fine. It won't. It'll be fine. He didn't hear it.
I'm like sweating now. But so.
So I was gonna ask. So I just did a cleanse, a 5-day cleanse.
Good.
Mhm.
And like day 2 or whatever, when this is when I freaked out on him.
Oh my God.
And I wondered, like, as a question for you, like, because you're pushing the limits to your body, could some of that also, like, you know how, like,
Well, it sounds like it's the detox, though.
Yeah,
Caused
but
that.
yeah, like,
Well,
is
because
that-
you get like yeah. It
the
So,
emotions like
Yes.
came up.
Well, yeah, that can definitely happen during the trauma.
makes me
I try.
tired when I do a cleanse like that. Like I get really tired.
Yeah.
I felt great, and I just lost my energy. But it felt
But I
so
feel
good.
like you're just
it felt so good to just
lose it.
yes.
Yeah, we all
That's
need
funny.
it sometimes. Yeah, but it could be where you're just on the tail end, that it's still like active, like
Yes,
stuff,
it
like
is.
it's releasing
Yes,
stuff.
that's what I. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, and
It
I
can
thought that just might
definitely
have like
happen. I
pushed
try to
it a
tell
little.
people to like kind of let people around you know to give you grace.
No, Jimmy knows, but he's really the only one I'm around
Yeah.
like that.
Chris was
Yeah.
good.
You know.
I threw
Jimmy's
the shake
I'm
at
so
him,
glad
but
you guys have such good
Oh,
support.
what a sin.
he made me a nice shake and I threw it at him. It's okay. These things happen.
It's all right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Honestly, it felt good. And I'm
You know,
surprised
see,
I'm
I-
saying that right now. but
I
it
can
felt
understand why
good.
you're saying that, because you know what? 1 minute. Because I never let my anger out.
Me neither.
I go
See,
to
that's
bed
not good.
before I put
That's not good.
before I get angry. I go to
You
bed.
get it out of you before.
Mhm.
Oh, you go
No,
to bed.
I
She
just go to bed.
sits on it.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
I never yell.
Well, I'm gonna
And I grew
disagree with that.
and I
sit down.
and I grew up with
Awesome.
I grew up with so much screaming and yelling and throwing it, like like Connie and the Godfather.
Me too. I'm the comedy relief. I was the one who kept my parents like.
Right.
I call myself the dancing monkey.
Mm.
It's true. But not on Friday.
There you go.
And he was so good about it. So good.
He's a good person.
He's a good person.
He's a really good guy. I get that feel is
Oh,
so
totally.
genuine.
Immediately, right? He's just a good.
He's just good.
Yeah.
Jimmy's like that too.
I know
He's
he
good.
is. I was gonna say you.
Jimmy's
you have
like
the
that. He's
same.
good as gold.
We have to meet
Yeah.
your
Isaiah
guy.
is,
Oh, he's nice.
Isaiah
Oh,
is too.
he's cute as the button too. Is so nice. Really a nice person.
We should all
His,
go out.
I
Can
like.
we all go out? We gotta make
Yes.
this happen.
Yeah.
Can we please?
Yes.
Yes. You know what? What makes it happen? You pick a date and a time.
Yeah.
Put it on the calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we leave tonight.
Okay, I love that. Let's do it.
Steph peeps, are you ready for summer 2023? Shorts, sleeveless tops, and the beach? It's crunch time and you want to feel and look your best. Me too. There are so many options out there and it can be very confusing. Look no further. More Health and Wellness is your go-to for your semaglutide, which is all the buzz for weight loss, Botox and Dysport for those fine lines, and B12 with lipoline injections for extra energy and fat burning, and so much more. Semaglutide has proven success, resulting in 5 to 15% weight reduction with weekly injections. At Wa Health and Wellness, you will be expertly cared for
Hi,
by a
Ben.
nurse
Thanks for
practitioner
tuning in.
who will
Hi,
guide you
Pavlina.
every step
Thanks
of
for
the way,
tuning in.
provide excellent care, and treat you like family. And you know I'm all about family. For more information and for other current promotions, give them a call at 781-206-7631 or online at moihealthandwellness.com. That's MOIHEALTHAND wellness.com.
All right, we're back. And, I think we're going to take a little bit of time out of just talking about the topics and let you talk about what you do
Okay.
and your work and who you serve and how people can find you. So,
Okay, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Right. I
Yes.
love it. Okay, awesome. So I'm Megan Marini, and so I do somatic trauma work. So it's really holding space for people to release some of the stuff that we're talking about and addressing here tonight. I do shamanic healing, which is similar to astral travel. I bring in guides, spirits. It's different work. It's
Mhm.
pretty out there. And then I'm training now in hypnosis. It's a super conscious hypnosis, past life regression, and quantum healing. I can't wait to get you ladies in.
I can't
Wait. It's so epic.
so
It's
ready.
really fun.
I'm so ready.
Yeah. And then I do a mind-body medicine, which balances the heart and the brain around a healing agenda that the body asks for. So that's really cool. That's called Body Talk. And I think those are my main certifications and
Right.
trainings. And I really help 100% of my clients are women. I help high-performing women who typically have that high control compulsory behavior. It's usually based on a past trauma story, whether childhood or adult. Most of the time, it's something left over from childhood. And we do the whole program. I bring all of those different pieces together in a treatment plan, and the outcome's different. People will come to me. I have one woman who's interested in becoming a public speaker, and she was told when she was little that she was like, poisonous, and she shouldn't be speaking so boldly. She was very comfortable and this woman is a total leader. You meet her and you're just like, oh my goodness. So she was stifled at about 7-8 years old, and she's been holding this complex in her throat and then develops a thyroid disease.
Oh,
of course.
my
Mind-body connection.
See, people don't realize.
Mind-body
They
connection.
don't realize.
100%, right?
They don't realize it
So,
happens in the body.
Yes, I have other women who come in because, similar to what we were talking about a little bit ago, they're super controlling with their kids. They want their kids to be amazing. They're at the top of their game, and they need their kids to be as amazing as them. So then you have this fracture where you can't let the kid, they're repeating the same pattern.
Right.
And it's so problematic because the thing that she wants in her heart is to connect with her son more than anything. But she can't because of the way her behavior shows up, and it's just based on her trauma. She's doing what her system needed to do to survive. So it's doing what's right in that regard, but it's not what's best. The best thing to do is to go back in and to feel all of it and to let it all unravel. And that's the interesting thing that we see toward the end of the work is that the clients actually start to just be able to feel the yucky feelings and actually sit with them and then move on, which I can't even tell you the gift that is, because typically, right, what we do, we got to go. Put them on, put the shoes on, let's go. Don't even think about it. I'm good. Put the smile on, throw your lipstick on, whatever. Right. So and we know that's the game we're trained since we're little, that don't cry. Like I didn't cry for 7 years. Wow. I have my trauma story. It's very alive. But after doing my trauma work, it was different than any of the other work I'd done. And I had done all of the modalities I could get my hands on. I tried everything. And it was finally the thing that moved that piece that it was like this constant burning to do, it was like I had to be doing something versus now I can choose.
Right.
Which is I call it inner freedom and then building an authentic self. So that's kind of the crux of.
Yeah, I had a weepy week last week.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I cried my ass out.
See, I love it. Right.
I had days I just laid on the couch.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's not you.
It's really, it's not, but I think what happens is for me, that's how my anger comes out.
I love it. So, we don't have to go into coaching right now, but I would definitely investigate.
We'll talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
We can talk about it.
Because I welcome anger. I celebrate anger. And I know that that's maybe not the norm or the expected, but we're taught to stifle our anger so much. And I think that if put in the right places and done in a therapeutic way, it should get out of you.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't go in, because you know where it goes. It lands on the weakest system in the body.
Yeah.
It lands on the weakest system.
Well, and I think, like you said, you'll end up physically sick.
Yeah, it'll hit you one way or the other.
Some way, somehow.
Whether it's in your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
in your career, or it'll land in
Burning
your body.
yourself
I have a lot of clients with immune system
I
issues,
swear,
which is based on trauma.
I think it's the food with me. I really do.
What do you mean?
I know. I think the weight, padding, the protection.
Yeah, it's safety.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's control and safety.
Yeah.
When you talk about control, nothing is better than you saying like you always had to be doing something, and all I do is look up and I see my husband right now in the next room glaring at me because he's like, that sounds familiar.
Right.
That constant fill
Have
the space so you don't
Yes.
have to sit with yourself.
Yeah.
I bet you social media is a great help to that too. It makes it very easy to sort of disconnect a little and get.
Yeah.
Well, I
sort of
think though
lost.
too, like somebody like me I could continue working 24/7 just by scrolling and pasting and cutting and doing and posting and doing, and all this stuff,
Yes.
because as entrepreneurs, we can just keep on going.
And we justify it as doing the right thing.
I'm doing my work.
Yep. I was working, I left my my last job. I was working 80 to 90 hours a week. And when I wasn't working and traveling, I would sleep on the weekends. We never had plans. We never did anything because I was
couldn't.
working but that's what I did,
Right.
channeling all of that
Mhm.
into work. That's how it finally clicked for me. I walked away just because I was so burnt out and I
Right.
couldn't do it anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't tell me if you think I'm wrong, but even with me, I think it could end up in addictive behaviors. It isn't just doesn't have to be
Mhm.
drugs. It could be any other addictions,
Any of the
food,
addictions.
Shopping.
whatever. Yeah.
Gambling.
Yeah. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby.
Yeah.
That's what, we're all looking for love in all the wrong places.
Mhm.
Right?
All the songs.
So
yeah.
how can people find you? Where
I'm
are
a
you?
human. Yeah, so I have an office in Cambridge and newly to have an office in Hingham.
Woo!
I'm so excited. Tomorrow's my first Hingham sessions. And my website is AMMAHUMAN. Ama Human.
Yeah, and who should call you? Who should look for you?
Probably someone who has done some therapy and feels like it's gotten them so far, but now they know that there's something else that's kind of deeper that they can't get to just via talk or coaching, and they're ready to move it out of their body.
And you're on Facebook and everywhere else.
Yeah, I'm on all the things. So it's Megan Marini. Basically, if you look up Megan Marini, you'll find me. MEGANMARINI. And
you do a lot of great Facebook Lives.
Yeah, I'm out. I feel like I'm out
Yes.
there, and I definitely have been working with a lot more women now, and I think it's cool to just say that, that's becoming a niche or whatever, or my community. It feels really, I think, because I'm a woman and I've had my trauma, it's also very relevant. Where I've pushed myself and always had to be driven. So I really understand that sort of plight that we have.
Do you think that men handle the trauma differently?
Sure. Yeah, don't you?
I mean, I think they handle everything. Everything differently.
What trauma?
Gentlemen? Are we allowed to say gentlemen anymore? I guess not.
Yes, please.
Somebody
We can
just
be
said we
proper.
can't say ladies, or I guess that means you can't say gentlemen anymore.
Yeah, no, I think I'm all about using proper terms that, but we say boys, being from the city, we say, I'm going out with the girls,
I know.
going out with the boys. I think it's fine. People get a little
You
offended.
can
People
call
are
me a
offended
girl
at everything.
forever.
Okay,
Call me a girl forever.
Listen,
I will take that.
Right?
Thank you.
That's it, right? So, as long as you're not.
But I don't know. I just feel like it just seems to be where I'm going. So I think that
the path of least resistance,
it just seems to be what's happening. It
And
wasn't
feels
like
good.
a conscious choice. I used to have a men's group. I think that we have it's a very unique time for women where we are redefining our relationship to men. And that is an important, piece in my life, my relationship with my partner, Isaiah. It's I think that my trauma, is very relevant in the relationship. And I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I think we all need a sacred and safe space to do the work so that we can bring our best selves to whichever relationship we're in at the moment. Right? It's
true.
like you need that safe space.
So
Yeah.
I have this quote that I used in my workshop a couple of weeks ago. The hour is coming, in fact, has come when the vocation of women is being acknowledged in its fullness. The hour in which women acquire in the world an influence, an effect, and a power never hitherto achieved. That quote, you're going to die when you find out where it's from. This is what I talked about in my workshop.
In class, yeah.
It's the closing remarks of Vatican II in 1965.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this was, a, yeah. So
Wow.
it's you think
Pretty
people don't realize that there is a recognition of women's power in religious
Yep.
spots.
Yeah.
It's just not known because yes, it does get blocked and by whomever and whatever.
Yeah.
But I found that to be such
Love
an
that.
amazing quote from so long ago. So yes, when you said that about the time, it's an amazing time for women. We're coming into our own and I think there's been a lot of growing pains along the way. Trying to where do I fit? What am I, what do I do? Do I go, I stayed home with my kids for 20 years.
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore. They really don't. Nobody stays home full time. They might do part-time. They might work from home. I took care of my kids. That was my job. And it was a big job. And I was probably busier than all of you with 4 kids, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But, it was a different time. And it's a little different. So there's growing pains. My kids had to have, deal with the growing pains of me being not only not in the house and not married, but trying to work.
Right.
There's growing pains there for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So thank you for being here and sharing your expertise.
Yeah.
And if you would like to get your biz in front of over 100K peeps, email me at steph@juststeph.com. I'd love to have you as a feature biz. And we'll come back next hour. More Megan Marini and Jennifer Cassara.
Yay.
Okay. Woo!
It's so funny. That's what my freak out was
Hi,
about.
Nancy.
Was about needing to be able to be me without being judged. Because I called him on the phone and I was in traffic and I started I get anxious. And so I started and I could tell he was judging. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to go or whatever. And so I was pissed. Because I was like, I called you as a lifeline. Talk me off the ledge. Don't judge me.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not happy that I'm overreacting to the, I'm not sitting there going, this is great, overreacting to the traffic. So I already am embarrassed by my behavior to a certain degree. I don't need you to make me feel bad.
Yeah.
I said, this needs to be a safe space for me to be able to be me and be imperfect and be whatever.
Yeah.
Can I interject here? And I'm going to say something. I'm so grateful that you're saying this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm about to hit some big stuff. I know I am, just like you said.
Yeah.
And now I can have a conversation with Jimmy before. And so this is why I was saying a group for just the people that have been through trauma, a little support group might be something that you would be.
I love it.
It would be good to do because then you have people like Jennifer and then hopefully me. Be able to say, hey, listen, make sure you have a conversation with these people because, you are going to, blow a gasket or lose your marbles. I mean, I spent all last week, I don't know if it was about money, business or whatever, or if it was just, I know it was, but that was,
right.
but I couldn't keep it together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even Friday, and then I got ready to go to the gala and then it was like, there was no table there.
I would have lost it.
No, I lost my shit because the thing is
did you pay for tickets?
we spent a lot of money. I bought a dress.
Did
bought
you
a suit.
yell? Did you yell?
No.
Did you cry?
No. I was going
Just
the wheels were coming off. And I said, well, you have to understand too, when there was not even enough high tops.
What the hell?
Well,
There's
here's
this
this-
whole event.
They knew
So
how many
it
people
was
were
the
coming,
aquarium.
right?
It was the aquarium. They did it was not that was it was
You
a,
would think they do these.
so
this isn't the first one that they're doing.
so here's the other part of it.
Really? Yeah.
I can't hold my plate, the fork, the
Oh,
drink.
come on. Yeah, no.
I can't do it. And so I started to lose it. And I'm going, I can't do
Did
this.
they expect you to stand?
Well, they just didn't have enough space. So it was so funny because Maria Paula texted me. She goes, listen, she was with Biagio and she's like, Biagio's like, no, I'm out of here. Because even he was like, no, I'm not doing this. You know, I got to sit down and eat.
Hectic.
Italians
Yeah.
are funny about that. You got to sit
Well,
at the
yeah,
table.
I
you
am
know,
very
like-
much like people who are like, you want to eat through lunch? I'm like, no, I want to eat. I'd rather eat at my desk and scarf it down alone and enjoy my meal than sit here and try to talk and eat with you like in a
Right.
work setting.
So we ended up meeting them at Limoncello and had a blast.
Good.
Like
I'm glad
Jimmy
it
knew
worked
one of the guys there,
Oh,
and
it's
we know
great.
you know
Oh,
we
so
you know
glad
it was
it
like we
worked
had a
out.
really good
Yeah.
time. It was really fun.
Good.
We had it was great, and it was a better option for me anyway.
Yeah.
Good.
Let me see who. Oh yeah, no, it's still
We
it's
got to
still
be
new.
careful. We're on the radio. We got to remember.
Yeah, I know.
We said
Well,
she was
what my
fat.
whole point is I felt the wheels coming off, and I was like, because two of the guys from my club, the president and the chairman of my St. Joseph's Club, they both stood up from a table and said, well, we can take turns here. You sit down. And I was with all these people. There was like all these older people that I didn't know.
Like,
And after a while, I go, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I am not doing this.
Yeah,
This is not.
They were trying to make it work, but it's like hell's no.
I was like, no. And you know what? I really do believe that I was meant to do what I would do.
That you did. Yes.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
Yes,
And
I believe
feel
that,
that like
too.
I went with the feel of it
Yeah.
and like, no, let's just go. But what happened was we were walking out and I had already had a bad week emotionally.
Oh,
So
of
I
course.
said, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. He goes, oh no, we're going out. We're going to go meet Maria and we're going to go to Limoncello.
Because he knew that would make
And you know what? We had a blast.
See?
Yeah. And I was like, thank you for making me go.
Yes.
Oh,
And we had so much
See?
fun.
Good.
Yeah. So, and
Also important life lessons. There's many books like this, and my favorite one that stayed with me, it's called It's Not Personal, Sonny, It's Business by Steph Palermo. In this book, Steph combines the pillars of Sicilian heritage with her own life experiences into a book that's truly
Yeah.
going to
Not
transform
yet,
the way
not
you
yet.
think about life and the way you think about work. Stop
Kansas,
postponing living your best, most satisfying life and stop putting off thriving in your business. You can do both of those things right now. Just go to buystephsbook.com and order your copy today. You won't regret it. That's www.buystephsbook.com. See you there.
your soul is restless until you live your purpose. And here is this week's soul guidance. All righty, so we're back with more Megan Marini and Jennifer Cassara talking about trauma work. And I'm going to have Megan pull in a divine energy card. Oh, there you go.
Live life to the fullest.
Woo! Yay!
Yay!
I love it. That's awesome. And I think by addressing your trauma, you'll be able to be more. It's a more complete package. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely.
So how can you heal the trauma? Let's talk about healing the trauma, and because this
Yeah.
is a soul guidance segment.
Yeah. So I think one thing that makes sense to share is that the way that this work works is it works with the mammalian system. So we're actually animals.
Right.
And we sort of forget this, right? We think we're fancy, and we are, but we are.
We just
Some of
dress
us
up
are.
nice.
Some of us dress up nice. But we're a bag of desires, right? We're like emotion, desires, the past, all these things. And the way that the system is hardwired, we can't get around. We can't outthink ourselves, right? And this is why therapy gets you so far, where you can talk about it till you're blue in the face,
Right.
but you're like, man, it's still there, right? So it needs to be unraveled in the same sort of animal way, the way the memories are stored. And it's almost like you're in an emotional landscape of how the memory was sort of put into the system. And that's happening in your primary consciousness, not your secondary consciousness. Secondary consciousness is talking, waking life, interacting with the world, having a coach, doing a math problem. Primary consciousness is when things hurt you. When you were little, and we are not resilient when we're little. We are, it all goes in.
Right.
It all goes in as truth. And then we have to make sense. And how we make sense of it is by making ourselves wrong. Because we cannot make a caregiver wrong, because we're hardwired to know that caregiver is our survival, comes through them.
Right.
They provide our food, our shelter, our love. And if we make them wrong, we threaten our own survival. It's hardwired in real quick. It's going to happen. If they perpetually are hurting you, you say, well, I'm not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to be better. I'm going to make sure I never do that again. And then we see that as a repeated pattern later in life, where you constantly worry. You have a compulsory worry. I'm going to worry about everything so that I get ahead of that, because they're waiting for that ball to drop. And it's literally in their primary consciousness. So we have to sort of approach it from that way. Yeah. So I don't know if that helps, but I think it helps to think about like having a process or a system to do the trauma work.
Do you think it has anything to do with how we were taught to deal with the trauma as well? Like, I remember, when you're young, you fall and then you scream your head off, right? Little babies, that when they're hurt or they're hungry, they scream their brains out, flail their arms, do all this. And then you get to a point when they say, I'm going to give you something to cry about. What are you crying for? What are you being a baby for?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a little girl. I mean, am I wrong? Is that part of suppressing some of that?
Well, I think that then creates that point in our brain where we're like, oh, we're going to control that. I think definitely. But what I'm thinking of, and I don't know what you guys think about this, is like a place where there's a natural disaster. In the wake of a disaster, how do you recover? How do you help children to learn resilience or process what's happened, right? So a lot of that is touch, right? It's allowing them to voice what's happened. It's using the right tonality, right? So I think there are a lot of really great parents out there that understand psychology and really take time for their kids now. And then I think there's a lot of parents, probably most, have no clue and are,
well,
we're repeating the pattern. We're
right.
repeating the same thing. They haven't gone and done their work. And when I first started this, I was very forgiving. I was like, oh, parents, like, you didn't know, and then you had your kid, and, go get your trauma work. Now, I don't know. Now I feel like, no, do your trauma work before you have your kid.
Oh, I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do your trauma work.
Do the work.
Do the work. It's like, what do you guys think?
Well,
100%.
I think, if you're not, I think in general, just go get help. I always say, if you can't get help with me, get help somewhere. Just do it. Just do what you have to do for yourself to live your best life. But I think that, I'm 56 years old. I didn't know 10 years ago that I had stored trauma.
Right.
I didn't know. I had been through 20 years of therapy. I was working on myself. I'm listening to all, Louise Hay and saying, I love you. I love you. I love myself, and all this stuff, and listening to Abraham Hicks and reading good books and Don Miguel Ruiz and the 4 Agreements, and, doing all the stuff that you think you need to evolve and grow and to be able to guide somebody else, which sure, for the most part, I might be one step ahead of some people, but how far am I as a person?
Right.
I didn't know 10 years ago.
It's a great point, because, you don't know, or you think, like you said, some people feel like they shouldn't be complaining, or, I know for me, certain things, I was like, oh, am I over exaggerating it in my head? Am I, I should just sort of like, suck it up. And so you're right. If you don't know, you don't actually think to actually, to go get help.
So I think, to answer your question, is a lot of us, we come to these, we wake up and we come to these realizations a little later on, because we finally have that space to do it. We're finally in asking the questions. Why am I here? What's going on? There's got to be more than this. If we can get the 20 somethings to start thinking this way. Maybe, anybody who's listening, who, if you're a second lifer, you might have 20 something, like my kids are between 18 and 31. I don't know if I have that kind of influence over them anymore. It's kind of hard. You try. But if you have grandchildren, start to talk to them, or talk to the parents about, the good things they can do with their kids. I don't know. I just know I just know about my age group because that's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I talked to my kids. I shared with my kids that I'm doing the trauma
Yeah, I was
work.
going to say, does that probably,
But
at least opens that
but
awareness.
I'm a little careful because the boys are just, they don't like it. They don't like me to be upset. They don't like it, and they don't want to hear. It's almost like they don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much for them.
It's too much. So it's very interesting. And so I usually suggest that we are a little bit modest with how much we share about our trauma work, because without the right training, it can be really upsetting to other people, because they don't have any skills in that area. They're like, it can overwhelm them to think about the trauma you've received, and that's fair. It's okay.
Right.
This is something you're choosing. And if they see on the other side of it that, oh wow, mom changed, maybe later they'll be interested in it, if they even, I don't know, right?
I wouldn't share that much with them.
It's more like,
it's just like, hey, I'm doing this trauma work. I'm just doing this trauma work.
Yeah.
I'm just working out some of my stuff, things like that, being very, sort of surface with them, but honest that this is what I'm doing. And so, so doing that. But I think that getting in front of 20-year-olds to work on some of this stuff, and maybe even dealing with parents, teaching parents on how to parent, so that they can help they can help their kids. I don't know.
I think I don't know what you were going to say there, if you were going to say something, Jen, but I feel like the only way I would look at that, where it's my role, because I'm a very specific coach for very specific outcomes.
Right.
The age is broad for me. I've worked with people in their 80s. I have a few 23, 26-year-old. Wow. I have younger people who are looking to move through, but they have severe stories, very, very much knew what they're coming out of adolescence into, and what their setbacks would be because of what they went through. So I think my only thing would just be to parents to say, like, really, really meet your kids where they are and never stop pushing them. I don't like the whole, like, everyone gets an award, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy. I grew up in a very different kind of structure. But meet them where they are in an emotion, teach them about an emotional life, an emotional landscape, that it's absolutely, you should feel every emotion. And when we're locked out of our emotions, sadness, anger, the ones that we don't like as much, they're not as pretty, we're actually locked out of part of our potential. We really are. If you can't feel everything that you bring to the table, if you're hiding pieces from yourself, this is Jungian classic, like subconscious work. It's like, you will be held back. And that's the same thing that I always say about you're taking energy to hold it down. You're like, the little Jack in the Box. It's like, he's ready to spring, and you're like, I got this. I got it. Right. And it's like, something's going to give, honey, somewhere. So, and you don't want it to be anywhere important.
Here's a question. And this came up before when we were talking a little earlier. We're told in sort of the manifestation world, keep that positive mindset. Don't, you want to make sure you feel into what you want, so that you can manifest your dream. So I feel like I'm rich, so I'm going to be rich, all of that. How do you reconcile feeling these emotions? Because they're definitely some low frequency vibration emotions.
You are spot on, girl.
So
I love it. Calling you girl, sister. I want to call you all the things.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to get in trouble. But so the way I think about that is, yes, that stuff's great. And I love mantras and all the jazz. But the reality is, if you haven't cleared that piece inside of you that is unsettled, it is unhappy with everything, you're almost I talk about it like you're putting on a tux, you put on the bow tie, you're ready to go out, but you didn't shower. So you're coming in, you're like, hi, I can't wait to meet everyone, but you have really bad breath. Like you gotta do the detox,
Yeah.
right? You gotta go in and first clean the slate inside of yourself. If your autonomic nervous system is dysregulated, you're not going to have a happy existence. It might look like you might check all the boxes,
Mhm.
but inside you are never satisfied. So, if we think about frequency when we talk about like Louise L. Hay or Esther Hicks or something, that's all legitimate once you've cleared your trauma. But right? So like after you have that clean slate and you have that inner stillness, now you can manifest off the chart.
Now you feed it with
But
the
if your
good.
energy's kind of like rattled inside and you're doing mantras, no way. It's all about the energy and the frequency that you're putting off, right?
So if this doesn't encourage people to get trauma work, I don't know what would, because I don't know. We talk about manifesting, it's really, we manifest everything in our lives, what good, bad, whatever, indifferent. It's deliberate creation. If we want to deliberately create the life of our dreams, we have to clear the path for that so that we can actually feel.
And a lot of people don't have a lot of trauma. There's people that I meet. I know. Isn't it surprising? I know. Okay, so maybe
I'm so jealous.
Maybe after the pandemic, but I still hear about people that they've been insulated for whatever reason. I could name a couple reasons, but I won't. They're just have been well insulated from heavy duty things. God bless them. Hey, to each their own. But to me, I don't find them as interesting because I feel like I'm a surgeon. I'm like a heat-seeking missile when it comes to this stuff. And I actually wholeheartedly respect people who've been through things. And it's fascinating to me. Like I just I couldn't do anything better than what I'm doing, right? So nothing against people that are sort of, just happy with how they are and
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that. Sure thing.
You know what? And God bless.
And God bless.
Yeah, I think that's
Yes.
awesome.
God bless. Keep it moving.
Well, you know what? That's great because it's hope. I mean, it's hope for the maybe it's a little, like how they're living is a good example, and that's great. And maybe they'll pass that on to their kids, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe one day there's going to be a world without trauma.
Hopefully,
You'll be out of a job, maybe. Right?
Yeah, hopefully.
It'll be like 300 years. You'll be on.
That's right, a utopia.
I don't think you have to worry about it.
It is utopian, isn't it? Thomas More, utopia.
Yeah,
that's right.
I don't know. That's where I'm at. I like utopian things.
I love it.
But
I always say that. Think, can you imagine a world where everybody's aligned and living their purpose and happy and joyful? Like, can you imagine it? And that's why I have to kind of keep blinders on in my life because.
Yeah, I think the blinders, I studied philosophy in Switzerland, and that would go against what you learn that so that war is like a thing that we can never get out of now. But I have to believe in
that's hope.
I have to believe that maybe not a utopian, like everything's, butterflies and rainbows, but that we could at least achieve something closer to world peace than what we have. I hope.
And this is why I take people to Sicily, because you live that space, or when you go on retreat, you can experience or whatever, even if it's another, a yoga retreat in Bali, whatever, you just, get away and get in this little space. You can say, oh my gosh, this is peace.
Yeah.
And you can experience it and hopefully take some little nuggets back into your life, whether it's with me or whatever. So, okay. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Jennifer Cassara and the Just Steph rules of dating. Okay. Yeah.
It's like exfoliating before you put
There you go.
moisturizer on.
Okay, here.
Right? I was thinking that the whole time. I'm like,
so
if you want the moisturizer to soak in, you need to exfoliate.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's very it's such a good idea to talk about, the man, people, because that's what everyone's thinking. Oh, just think positive.
I have.
What I mean?
When you feel like shit, I'm sorry to swear.
You can swear on
it's
here.
so bad.
It's fine.
When
Just not
somebody
on
just
here.
tells you, just like think, be positive. You're such a
I
positive
wrote a thing on
person.
media
And you're
about
like, oh,
that.
you're bubbling, you're burning inside. Or
Well, I'm
boiling.
actually
It's like-
embarrassed. Like I was embarrassed at my last week. I couldn't keep it together. I really
See,
was-
okay, but okay, so that's what I'm trying to get to that point where it's, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. You're human.
I feel like weak. I feel weak.
yes.
Yeah, it's gonna
I feel
come
weak.
back. You're gonna come back around. I promise you. I give you my word.
I felt weak.
We're gonna get you back.
I feel like
I want-
something unclogged.
I want you to
I
keep,
can't
keep
explain
going.
it.
You're not, she's ahead of you. A
Yeah, I
couple
know.
weeks. You got to keep in there. We're not giving up. Yeah.
So we have 2 sessions this week.
I know.
I'm ready though. I'm really happy about it. I'm,
Good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed like knowing that I had this. Like
I'm looking forward
was-
to my medicine.
It was good.
She has so much
kinda
fun.
like-
It's
I
really
like it.
cute. It's like, oh my god, the giggles, the giggles.
I love it.
I wish we could just stay on the giggles.
Oh yeah.
Can I
We
just
should have the boys drive when we have dinner. No,
Yeah.
it would be a little unruly. But
Oh, we take those little
we
pills?
have
We'll do
little
that.
tiny-
We take the little
I
pills.
never do that, but I would with you ladies.
I've never taken the pills.
Oh no, they're awesome.
I do the
I love
pod.
it. Oh my god, she's so funny. I
She's
can't.
like,
It
yeah.
makes me gag. No, like bad. I throw up.
I actually think I'm hilarious. When
You are definitely like you
I'll do
were
a
always
gummy.
funny, but you
that
definitely
bad?
got way funnier.
well, so I was like funniest girl,
It's
but I've
almost like
hidden
it
it.
was-
It's,
yeah,
it's all.
exactly. It
It's
was, like,
still.
locked
It's still.
inside
It
of
is.
you.
It is, and it's
But
this
I feel like
wise
it's
ass.
very
like,
loud.
it
Sounds
is.
good.
It's like
I want it.
It's all good. No, you know what? It's just I like laughing.
I want that back. When I used to just be raw like that and just funny, and then at some point you learn to just tuck everything in, but that's not who you are.
I
So-
laugh a lot. I laugh a lot. I was laughing. I was laughing. Oh my gosh. I laugh a lot. I do.
That's good.
But I'm kind of like, I'm an all or nothing girl. Like I'm either like ready to like just go to bed forever or like I'm like, what?
fun.
But I'm not like, but I'm calm, but I'm just, it's, if I'm not really enjoying life, I'm not enjoying life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like I'm not. So like last week was a tough week for me and I wasn't enjoying. Oh my.
Anytime.
Oh,
Nope.
this is you.
Office to operate work
This is
cocktails
yours. Yeah.
without needing to run home and change? And are you ready to love your wardrobe again? Then meet Good Robe & Co. Their mission is to change women's lives by helping them to create timeless, effortless wardrobes that they can thrive in. They understand how frustrating it can be to walk into a full closet and have nothing to wear with too many random pieces that just don't work together. That's why they've built a beautiful collection of classic, essential pieces that are designed from the beginning to mix and match for endless outfit options. Looking good has never been so easy. So shop today at goodrobeandco.com. That's GOODROBEANDCO.com.
Hey, Jordan Rich here. You and I have something in common. We're listening to the Just Steph Show, and we're loving it.
All right, we're back, and we're gonna have Jennifer Cassara. Yay! Talk about Good Robe & Co.
I know it seems so like frivolous after talking about trauma,
No.
but what I'm gonna say is that there's a tie-in here, and all I keep thinking about going through the trauma healing is that I feel like, at least for me, the way that my trauma sort of manifested was as a people pleaser.
Mhm.
And I do think to a certain extent, we all look externally a little bit too much to get validation or to get,
Yes.
oh, what should I wear? What should I do? And we look to fashion, and fashion is great. Obviously, I love it. But better than fashion is style. And it's understanding who you are and what makes you happy, what you put on that makes you feel good. I actually, I'm doing a post on Wednesday. I did the video before I came here, and it's this idea that you are going to know better. Yes, it's great to get ideas. I think fashion's great because it's sort of like, it shows you where you can go, but you need to know what you gravitate towards, what you look good in, what you feel good in. Because I could tell you to put anything on, and if you don't like it, it's not going to suit you. It's not going to work for you. And when you're in it, you're not going to be the best possible version of yourself. So part of the reason that I created this is that a lot of my pieces are very universal, very classic. I call it like, like the canvas.
Right.
And then you add your personality. I'm going to wear it differently than you're going to wear it,
Right.
differently than Megan's going to wear it. But we all need to be very comfortable in our skin. And so I can't tell you, I remember at some point I used to do makeup, and I remember I would have some people come in and they'd say to me, well, what do I look good in? What do I look good in? What do I look good in? And honestly, we all look good in multiple things. So I could tell you that you're going to look good in a bright red lipstick, which you really would. And I bet you enjoy wearing red. But if you don't like red lipstick,
I love it.
yeah. But if you don't, then me telling you look great in red lipstick means absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
So that's exactly why we created this collection, was because it's a canvas that you then can make your own personality. So I do think it does come back to looking internally.
Yes, I
to
love
understand. See how I tied that together? That's like impressive, I think. So honestly, it's how you show up for yourself. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh my God, you dress so well," and I'm like, I'm not wearing anything that's that great, but I think it just I'm so comfortable in it because I know what I look good in. I know what I'm comfortable in, and when I'm in it, I probably exude more confidence. Because I don't feel like, what was that saying? Like, you don't want your clothes to wear you. There are some people who try so hard, and then they're like in this outfit that isn't like
It's
them.
not them. Yeah, I definitely think, style and how you feel is important with the clothing. I mean, I know when I don't feel good about what I'm wearing.
Right.
It kind of it can mess the night up.
Yes.
It really does,
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Wardrobe is everything.
Yes,
Wardrobe is everything. I think it means a lot.
But it's funny because one time Megan and I were talking about it, and so like I'm short, really short, which you can't tell on the radio, which is great, nor on Facebook, but I'm 4'10". There are plenty of things. I am wearing a long skirt right now, and it's like one of those things that they tell you not to do. Like, oh, you're
great.
short, it's gonna cut you in the wrong, like what?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I love this skirt, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I feel confident in it, which is why I'm wearing it tonight. And so, at some point you have to be okay with, okay, the rules are great and they can be helpful, but don't always listen to them. Do what makes you happy, what makes you shine.
What are some of your favorite pieces?
Okay, so I think I wear a blazer every time I'm here. I like a blazer because it's sort of like, you could be wearing a t-shirt and jeans and you throw on the blazer and you immediately look pulled together and polished. I love the girlfriend shirt that I'm wearing because basically it's shaped.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, so that there's like boyfriend shirts. Well, we call ours the girlfriend shirt. And the reason is that boyfriend shirts are usually those big oversized. Yeah. They do nobody any justice.
Right.
Yes, they're cute, they're fun, whatever. You're not going to look great in them. This girlfriend shirt is like made to just sit perfectly, hit you right at the top of your hip. Like everything I did was made to be flattering. I kind of overthought it quite a bit so that y'all don't need to. Our pants, the booty cut pant, okay, which is the full one. It's long. You're going to have to get it altered if you're not like, 5'8", but it's worth it. Because it's called the booty cut because it makes your booty look good, and it also is boot cut. It was kind of like a play on words. But your butt looks really good. I wear those pants no matter what. I get compliments.
Right.
People always ask me if I lost weight when I put them on. They are like the best pants. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. The wrap dress.
Right.
They're classics.
Right.
And the wrap dress is known. I mean, it is known to make it to be, yes, it hits you because of that wrap. It brings you to your smallest spot on your body, which is your waist for women. And so it accentuates your smallest area. And then of course I threw a few little ruffles on there, just to cover the wobbly bits a little bit. Not that I have any.
Right. Nobody does.
Nope. No wobbly bits. Manifest that.
Right. I got to get rid of the trauma first.
That's
Then we'll get there. Then we'll get there. Oh my gosh. So what else? Anything new happening? Anything new coming for a Good
Well,
Rope and Go?
No, you know what? We just started with the affiliate program, so we have 1.5. We have somebody else who's also going to be doing it. And she just hasn't signed up her affiliate code yet. But we have some new affiliates who will be they're stylists so that they can work with their customer. I like the idea. We don't sell to retailers because I want it to be direct to consumer. I want it to pass along the savings.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like the idea of stylists, helping people. And what I hear the most is that everybody's looking for basics. And stylists are coming to me because they're like, your line is so great because nobody is doing what you're doing. And, for people, they have a ton of customers who are like clients who are looking for, great foundational wardrobe pieces. And they're like, they can't find them. So I love the idea of having some stylists work with us. I have a new collection. I've designed it. But I am trying to actually, wait a little bit. It's still so brand new because we just launched in October.
Right.
So people are really just finding out about us.
Right.
And so, that's the exciting part is the more that the word gets out there. And the more people try it on. I get texts. My best part of what I do right now is I'll get texts from people who either bought online or, the woman who's our affiliate, Beth, she sent me a text from her customer that actually bought pieces. And I get these texts like, the pants were like they were made for me. And
nice.
You read all these things and that's how you know, like, okay, this is the right thing. This is exactly where I should be right now.
Jen, tell us a little bit about the name and the mission. Like,
yeah. Well, it's so funny because when I was telling people I had this company, Good Rope, they all thought I was making robes. Which I guess, but the idea was it was a take on wardrobe.
Correct.
And it was this idea that it's better than a wardrobe, which is why I call it a good robe. And it's this idea that if you have these pieces, right, you can buy them as singular pieces or they were created to work together. So we do sell capsules, which are 6-piece collections that are made to mix and match. And when I tell people that when you mix and match these 6 pieces, you get over 30 days of outfits just with those 6 pieces, it's crazy. So when you're strategic about it and when you plan it appropriately and you buy the pieces the way that they're meant to be put together, you can just do any, like there's just so many options. And I love that because a lot of times we'll buy an outfit and that's it, right? It's that outfit. And you get that and it doesn't go with anything else. I mean, even my patterns were designed, to go back to your basics. A lot of times I'll buy like a pattern top and I'll be like, it doesn't really go with anything unless I wear it with denim or so like everything was strategic. So like my blossom print has navy in it. So it goes back to navy, ivory, your denim.
Right.
So everything was made to wear multiple ways, which is nice.
And how is the sizing? Is everything true to size? Does it tell you right on there?
It does. All of the measurements are on there,
Mhm.
which is great. People rave about the measurements, but I will tell you, the pants seem to run a little big.
Mhm.
Is where I will size people down when they ask me, whereas the skirts are a little bit tinier, and the shirts are true to size for the most part. The only time you have to, or they're less forgiving, is I'm wearing the white cotton. Anything that's cotton, like 100% cotton, it's gonna have less give.
Right.
So you just want to be a little bit more specific.
Mhm.
But honestly, everything is pretty much true to size, except the skirts are a little tiny and the pants are a little bit big.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, we have a comment from Facebook here. Love feeling good in my clothes, miserable if I have to wear something I am expected to wear, but not love.
Oh, I agree with that so much. And haven't we all done that? Haven't we, like, you'll see trends, and I know because I was in the fashion industry, I always felt like I had to somehow show up in the trends. And do you remember? I feel like it's coming back. I think the low cut jeans. Yes, I know, where it gives you like the muffin top. Not that you have a muffin top, it causes it. But it's like these trends, and you go all in, and they just don't suit you.
Right.
So I get excited whenever. So I like goofy clothes. I do. That's like my admission. I like culotte kind of pants.
Mhm.
I know. They're just silly, but like when something I love is in, I like buy it in like 5 different colors because I know that I'm not going to see it again.
Right.
You know, that's like that's
Yeah.
that's my. But I do wear goofy stuff
I don't think that's goofy.
too. Culotte pants.
You mean like gauchos?
Yeah, gauchos. I love gauchos.
I bought gauchos in Sicily.
See,
I wore them to my son's rehearsal dinner.
we're soul sisters.
Yeah, and I bought them there because I was shopping there. I needed my clothes, so I was buying all my stuff for the wedding
I know,
there.
but
so
you found some beautiful things.
yes, fabulous. Italy is very different. You go into a shop, nobody's looking at you sideways about your size. They don't even ask you your size. They know. And they
Mhm.
just come back and they just bring you the clothes and you just try them on. And
I love that.
it's very different. They treat you. There's no body shaming.
No.
Even the shoes. I told the girl what she knew what to get me, what to bring me.
I love that.
It's very different. It's very different. This is why I have less stress when I go there, all in all, because everything's just okay.
I had the best time shopping there too. For
Right.
that reason, they just kept throwing things into
Oh
the
my
fitting
God.
room, and I was like, oh, "This looks great. This looks great." We did some damage in Italy. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
But you're right. They don't look at you like they bring you your size, and
because
it's just okay.
Yeah, everything's okay. But that's it in general. Everything's okay when you're there.
Yep.
It's all relaxed. And I think sometimes, and I talk about this because I want people to start to bring that into let's bring it home.
Yeah.
Let's bring it home and chill. And even about ourselves.
Yes.
I'm the hardest on myself.
Yes.
I think we all are. And I think the viewer too is like, what do you do when you can't find the look you love?
Right. Well, so, one of the tips that helped me is that I started to think to myself, when you design your house, like when you're furnishing your house, you look at a magazine and you get sort of like inspiration and some ideas. So I do find that it's great if you do have some sort of like a style muse or somebody that you look at and you say, that's me, or this all came to me when we were in Napa, and I went into a store and everything in the store just like resonated with me. It was this feeling of, I don't dress like this, but this is how I want to dress.
Right.
And it clicked for me. And ever since then, there's also some discipline there where, I think as a woman, you go into a store and it's like, okay, you can dress like you're going to a hoedown, or you can dress like bohemian one day. And there's so many personalities out there. And it's having that discipline, right? To say, yeah, you know what? That doesn't suit me. Or the last time I bought a pleated skirt,
I never wore it.
Yeah, exactly. It ended up, in the Goodwill bag. So I think it's a combination of trial and error, but also looking outward and saying, okay, how do you want to present yourself what do you think is a good reflection of you? And I feel like I'm a combination of sort of relaxed. I need to be comfortable, but I also want to look put together. And so when you look at the pieces that I wear, it makes sense. Like I'm wearing a denim skirt, but then I'm wearing my blazer. Like it's like, and it's like I figured that out about myself. But it took a lot of money and time buying stuff that didn't work for me.
So I have a couple of things that are on my mind that that I want to ask you when you come back the next time you come back on the show.
Yay!
Because I want to talk about, do we have to dress according to age?
No.
And do we have, because there's certain, and then,
Please don't.
Yeah. So, and I forget my other question now. But, I want to talk also about this idea of being so casual all the time. And so we'll talk about that the next time you come back.
Yes.
So we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we have the Just Steph rules of dating.
Love it. So those 2 questions you're tabling till next
Yes.
time. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because
Because
I think it's really good. I think it's like because I'm sure your viewers are around our age. Like it's like
Yes.
that's usually how it works, right?
yeah,
Like
and we,
22-year-old girls aren't gonna they're gonna be like, oh, they'll watch something different. So it's like that is a big thing. Like I've grown, and please don't feel that's not in a bad way. I'm so happy, but I was a 0 or a 2, and now I'm like a 4, and I have nothing. Like I'm like, this is hilarious. Like I literally none of my stuff fits. I'm gonna have to go shopping.
I wish you had told me that. I would have brought you some stuff. I have a house filled with product. Do you like the stuff that you got with me?
Yes, I think that I think when I tried the pants, they still were a little too big though. So I think they're like
Yeah, because you've got little weeny legs.
I'm little
I
on
need-
the bottom,
I
but I'm
need-
big up here. It's like, oh my god, so I need slimming stuff, but whatever. I don't know.
But
We'll
you
see.
did the
We'll see.
twill. Did you do the twill pant? The stretch twill pant?
I think so, yeah. And navy blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
They
are
wicked
that.
nice. They wicked
The reason
nice.
I said that is
I don't
because
really have anywhere to wear them. I feel like it's like they're sort of like
they're
where do I
like-
go?
They're
I
chill.
don't go anywhere anymore.
Yeah, but you don't have to. They're like it's like instead of wearing denim, you wear those.
Yes. Yes.
I don't ever wear those dressy. I wear those on like
Oh,
although
really?
okay, I do sometimes. So I'll wear those with like sneakers and like a sweater or whatever.
Oh,
Or little
cute.
booties are
Okay.
very cute with it.
Okay. I love
But
that.
then you can dress
Oh,
it
all right.
up
I
too.
didn't
Yeah,
know
no.
booties.
Think of those more as like a pair of flats with those.
Yes.
And
Yes.
like an Audrey Hepburn kind of
Yes.
pant, cigarette
Yeah.
pant kind
Yeah.
of.
I love
That's the vibe, and
Yeah.
it's not dressy. In fact, I consider that like the non-dressy
The
part of the.
all right. I was thinking that was dressing.
No, no,
because I went out the other night to that thing and I was like, oh my god, I don't even know how to dress.
I
Right
thought
now.
you
Like,
looked fabulous.
I love you, but doesn't it feel like you've been going out? I haven't been going out like I used to. Like I used to go to galas and all this stuff, and now I'm like,
Yeah, but it's a problem.
I don't go to anything.
Too much.
I'm not invited to anything.
hmm.
I don't do anything.
You live too far away. You can come out with me every night of the week. Okay?
She goes out every night.
No, I don't. But I could. I mean, it's something all the time.
There's something. See,
But
that's
no,
what
this
my
week I'm
old
so
life
happy
is
I'm not
like.
doing anything.
Yeah, we need
I have
that
a client
downtime.
But
on
it's gonna
Wednesday
be
evening,
summer,
but that's
so
it.
it's like, I feel like it's gonna kick back up, and we're gonna plan our dinner. I'm the
Yes.
same. I feel like there's just not a lot, and I got invited to that dinner the day before or the day of. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, what am I gonna wear? I was like, yeah. Anyways, I gotta
I
get over
didn't-
the
well,
clothing thing, but I'm just
My
like,
problem that night was I was cold. It was cold out, and I didn't know what to wear because I had a couple of dresses that were
sleeveless.
okay.
I could always come and do a closet thing with you.
My closet's so bad. I literally
No,
like,
no charge. Just I'll come and do it, and then you can be like a testimonial.
oh, I love it. Are you gonna do
To
closet?
be my girl.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Cool.
already on my website.
Oh.
I probably should have talked to you. Yeah, I have to think. I have to
That's a
just
new
write my
Right,
thing
well, I
about
know what
that.
you're
She's doing closet edits.
Yeah, like working with people one on one and
Oh,
doing.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's you know what? That'll make you
People
money.
need that.
That'll
And
make
then
you
they'll,
money.
yeah, and they'll bring you stuff.
Hey, Just Steph fans,
I just
are you
think
ready
that
to be
people
okay
don't
with
know
yourself
that.
and your life? Do you want to not only live longer but live
Yeah,
better?
yeah,
Are you tired of caring about what everyone else thinks and feels before
couldn't hear
you?
it.
Well, it's time
I
to
like
put
it
the
because a
FU
lot of
back in
people
fun
have
with
stuff
no
in their closet
regrets.
that
And
they
if this
don't
all
wear,
sounds
and then
good
it
to
takes up
you,
all
then
the
why don't you
space. They need
join
to get
me,
rid of
Steph Palermo,
purge
host of the
the
Just Steph
trauma.
Talk radio show in Sicily for the summer
purge my
solstice
trauma, I
this
purge
June
stress.
16th through the 23rd. We will be spending 8 nights adopting a Blue Zone life, the Just Steph way, including being active, enjoying Sicilian cuisine, engaging in Sicilian hospitality, and experiencing Bella Sicilia. This is
I
first
love
class,
that.
baby. Come and have a blast with me and Ciccio, our driver, this summer solstice. Check out all the juicy details at juststeph.com and click Soul Journey Retreats, or email me at steph@juststeph.com. See you in Sicily.
This is the Just Steph Show on 95.9 WATD.
All right, we're back. The Just Steph Rules of Dating is brought to you by the Women of Boston Lingerie, where you can feel beautiful and sexy regardless of your shape, size, or age. Check it out at www.thewomenofboston.com. And this is dating advice for second lifers, and it's the Just Steph Rules of Dating. Be my one and only all my life. All righty. So, Megan, can you pull a love card for us?
Okay.
Yay. I love
Let's see
love
what we
cards.
have.
I know. Make it good.
Romance. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my gosh.
Yes, please.
It's like the touch of the love language.
Mhm.
To be romantic, I love that, right?
Yes.
Little romance is always good.
That
Yeah.
word lavish.
Yeah.
That was a good word.
It's good for
Yes.
our health.
Yes.
It's good for our health to flirt with our lover.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about how unhealed childhood trauma or trauma that we've been talking about will get in the way of love relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like the first thing to say about that is, haven't you all had that feeling when your ex held you to some unrealistic standard or was mean to you or said horrible things to you or blah, 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 blah. And then you have a new lover who's amazing and doesn't do those things, but your nervous system, it's almost like you're anticipating them to be mean.
Oh, it's
like,
awkward.
like the ex did.
Yes.
And you know that it has nothing to do with this new person, but you're like, it's almost like a physical thing. You
Mhm.
can't even help. It happened to me yesterday. I was like, I know you're going to be mad at me. I'm sorry. And he's like, you always do that, but don't you know that I will never treat you bad because of that?
Right.
And I'm like, it is hardwired in me to
Yes.
expect to be treated badly because of my ex. So that's how trauma works. It just takes over.
Yeah.
The response, you're already in the response and you're like,
I know. I was like, are you mad at me?
yeah,
Are you mad
like
at-
that kind of stuff. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
The
You know,
sorry is
versus
just,
like being
sorries.
ourselves.
I'm always sorry and it's terrible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
I
I
am.
think that's
Sorry, I'm always
Sorry,
sorry.
I'm
that's
sorry.
a big way. Yeah, but obviously like bigger trauma, like, it's more severe. Like sexual trauma is it's a lot to have to go through with if you've had a partner who has experienced anything like that. It's really heavy duty. It's hard. It's a long process. But yeah, I think that
What gets in the
some
way of the
lighter-
intimacy?
Yep.
Not even the physical intimacy, but just being intimate,
you'll
sharing
be,
your heart.
You can be shut down. And that's one of the beautiful things is like not finding ways to not be shut down with your lover. Someone recently said to me that they just can't feel, and their partner was like, hey, I really need you to hear what I'm saying right now. And this is really serious. Like, are you present with me right now? And they're like, I just can't feel anything. So like, yeah,
Wow.
right. How we can be
No
because
empathy.
we're locked out of the sadness, the anger, or the grief, whatever it is that we're afraid to feel, it will affect how we show up in those intimate places where that vulnerability is really required. Right, to be able to come down from, if you think about shifting down in a gear as like the nervous system being calm enough to be able to hold space for the other person and it not always be my system. This is what I need right now. Right. But to be able to be like, we're having a space together and my gears can go low enough to have space for you. Right. It's like we need to be able to see where our system's at and be like, okay, this is a collective. So how I think about relationship is I see it as a third party. You've got you and your past and your trauma. You've got your lover, their stuff. And then you've got the dynamic of the relationship. And we want to do our own work so we can come clean into the relationship, so we can create that safe space.
So a lot of us, we're older now. We've been in relationships for how many years?
Couple 2, 3.
Right. Well, for me, it's a couple 2.5, but but you've been
30 years.
30 years. I was married for 24 years.
Yes,
Huge
right?
That's awesome.
accomplishment.
That's
That
huge.
makes me feel so old, which I am, but yes.
No, just say
Well,
We've been
I was
together a
married
while.
for 24 years.
That's right,
when I
that's
got
right,
divorced,
Right,
and
right.
so
that's
yeah. but there's a lot of trauma that comes from that.
Yes.
From that whole situation, and the trauma of divorce.
Oh,
sorry.
That's,
yes.
It's really a lot, because especially coming from my cultural background,
where you do not get divorced.
you don't get to,
Right.
you just
Yeah.
live with the
Right.
with
You
them.
live with whatever you've got.
Yeah, that's it.
And I
you
think
made
it
your
is
bed,
like
lie in it.
it's almost like a death.
true.
Yeah, it can be like a death.
Oh, it is a death. It's absolutely. And so
Mhm.
I just think that when you have stuff, you come in, we all come in, we come together, we're like cracked eggs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you said, is it you that said the
No,
dent
no.
in the can? Who is it? Someone said that.
Last time I was here, I can't think of her name.
I always say a dent in the car. If you're driving,
Yeah.
that's how I always talk about
Someone
trauma.
said
It's
everybody, we
you
all
get
come in dented.
Who was here last time I was
I
here?
can't remember.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
But
Financial planning.
oh, it was Andrea Bates. Yeah, she's fabulous. She's fabulous. She's so evolved. Yeah, we all, she said we're all dented cans, but how dented are we?
Right.
But I think that when you come in, I know, with Jimmy, I was like, it was how nice he was so awkward for me.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
awkward. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, do you really meet? Like, how
Yeah,
could
you
somebody?
can't even believe it.
How could somebody be that nice?
I
you
say
know.
that. I always say he's like a lab experiment. I'm like,
He's so nice.
I'm like, I'll look at him sometimes, even after 30 years, and I'm like,
Aw.
no, seriously, I'm like, wow, like you're just really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody did something right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some mom did the right
Happy
thing.
Mother's Day.
Right?
Aw.
Yeah. But it can feel awkward
When you're
because
used to
Yeah.
something traumatic,
yeah.
or abusive, or a narcissist, or anything, just someone who neglects you in relationship, and then there you go with somebody who's whole. You're like, is this boring? Shouldn't there be more meanness coming? Or
I know the drama. And do you think that sometimes when you have unresolved trauma and you come into it with somebody new and they're really super nice, do you think that a lot of times they might push them away or behave in such a way to sabotage the relationship?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, right. Like
It's part of it.
self-sabotage is a huge piece of trauma. Yeah, where it might even be the right person for you, but if you're not ready, you'll push them away. You'll show up inauthentic, too excited. You'll bring all your stuff too quick, or too slow, or you won't show them
Mhm.
anything. And you're like, but I really liked that person, but you couldn't just be yourself.
And I just relax.
I mean, imagine just being yourself. Like, what a gift, right? We think it's like, of course you're yourself, but it's usually just almost like an amalgamation of like all of the stuff that we've been through, our culture and our past. It's different than truly consciously being just at ease with ourselves.
I have to say, it's so nice when you can be yourself. Like when I was married, I couldn't be like, I dance around and laugh and
you're fun.
I
Yeah.
do crazy stuff. I say,
You're very childlike.
oh my gosh.
You have a childlike spirit.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's actually, you have to become like one of these to get into the kingdom, to talk about children. That's actually scripture. But the thing is and that's a beautiful compliment. And but the thing is I'm like, I say whack job stuff all day long to Jimmy, and he's like, are you all right? Like, are you okay?
I've been repeating what you say. I'm
know.
like, just in all, safe stuff. It's just the funny stuff you say.
Oh, I don't care.
I mean, I texted you back. Like, I'm just quoting you. How hilarious.
I know. What did I say? I said something funny.
I texted it back to you.
I
And I had
know.
to tell Isaiah because I'm like,
No,
you're like,
you can say funny
it was
stuff.
really funny about the vegans. Can I say it?
Oh yeah, I said it wrong.
Is it okay? to
Yeah,
say
go
it?
ahead.
She goes like this about.
As long as it's not swearing.
No, it's not. About what?
Oh, in
who
Sicily.
she's taken to Sicily with her. She goes, I don't want any vegans.
Don't come with your
It's a vegan.
dietary restrictions, please.
You are
Do you have that
so
on your
funny.
website? Because I feel like I've read that.
No, I probably should put it.
I
Please.
feel like I've read it.
Because
somewhere
you know
that
what? I can't do this. I mean, we're going to Sicily. If you don't eat pasta or whatever, you don't have to eat pasta, but the thing is I can't be telling a chef in Sicily not to put this or that in it. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Don't come in with your stuff. It's all right if you don't want to eat pasta because you can eat. There's lots. Sicily is all seafood. You can totally have seafood. You can eat, nice like that. But yes.
It was just really
well because
I just love the
so
funniness.
funny.
It's so good. It's so
well,
good. But you have to be a certain level of safety.
Yeah.
To be yourself. I said to Isaiah, he knows this now, but like I feel like I had never truly been myself in a past relationship
before him.
Wow. Because
that's a huge
I had never felt
him.
like truly safe space.
Yeah.
And like inherently in your gut, if you can be safe with someone, don't you? Like it's sort of interesting how that works. That you can bring your goofy, your silly.
Yeah, I have to say, like even on our first date, like we went to Ocean Prime for dinner, and I was like, "You want to split?" And then I was like digging in the but I was in a good space because I had been alone. It was locked down. I was really happy to be alone.
Right.
So I really didn't care. I mean, not that I didn't care about him or whatever, but it was the first date. He was like, all right, we'll see how this goes.
Fun.
Let's see if he can deal with this. You want to split? I'd like to have this, whatever. And just kind of just normal, like, let's get this, that, we'll split it. And a lot of, and he was like a little shocked. He was choccado in Sicilian, choccado. He was shocked that, I wanted to split. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm like, yeah, because it's enough food. Why do we have to get more?
Yeah. It's so funny that you say that. Our first date was at an Italian restaurant, family style.
Uh-huh.
And part of the reason that he fell for me was that he's, I guess, taken other girls there and they didn't really eat.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, there with him.
Yes.
Like eating as much.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think he was like, yes.
Oh, every day I say, why do I eat more? I say that to Jimmy every day. Why do I eat more than you? I'm tired of it.
I have to pick the pizza slices. I get to pick my piece.
Oh my.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh my God,
I love it. So, this is what will happen to you, everybody. If you get your trauma work done with Megan, you'll become like me and Jennifer. Oh my God. That could be good.
That could be good.
It could be
There are
good.
worse things.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
Celebrating food and giggling, definitely.
Yeah, that's it. So I think it's a good idea to get your trauma work done. If you have trauma, not everybody does, but if you have trauma that you feel is blocking you, you definitely have to give Megan Marini a call. Find her at I'mAHuman.com, right? Is that it?
Yes.
I'mAHuman, AMMA human.com. And Jennifer Cassara. And if you want some clothes,
goodrobeandco.com.
Yay. So take a risk, be vulnerable, share your heart and love always. Big thank you to Jennifer and Megan for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Lots of love to Maria Paula from the Women of Boston Lingerie and Directory. Of course, Jennifer and Christine Murphy of Moi Health and Wellness and the Genesis Fit for being part of the Just Steph Show family. Next week, I have Corliss Baskerville of Baskerville Wealth and Management. And grab my book, email me, come with me to Sicily. You definitely have to come. There's still time to get your tickets. It's a bunch of weeks away. And join my free Facebook community, Get Real with Just Steph. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. It's The Real Just Steph. And on YouTube, it's The Just Steph Show. And iTunes is Just Steph Show. And don't miss a Sexy Monday. You both will come back, right?
Yes,
100%.
All right. Yay.
Yay.
All righty. See you all next week. Know I love you all. Wishing you love, balance, and peace. Ciao, ciao, baby.
Woo.
I love you. Woo. Great show. We're getting
Good job.
All right. I love you all. I'll see you next week.